one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
Cashing in, say, the way Liv did, well, that's like winning the lottery, isn't it? And I don't need to win the lottery because I work my ass off every week for a paycheck.
Welcome to Wrestling with Saint on Saint's World. I appreciate you for joining me, yo. I appreciate you for clicking on the video. Hope you're having a dope day, dope night, dope afternoon, whichever point in time you're listening to this. I appreciate you for clicking on the show. You could have done it. You could have been anywhere else in the world. You chose to stop by here and get a kid a chance, and I appreciate you for that. We are talking Backlash 2025. And my commitment to cover as much wrestling as I possibly can leading up to the next WrestleMania. The next big event, though, well, not the next like live pay-per-view, but the next like milestone pay-per-view, I want to call it, is SummerSlam. And SummerSlam is a 2-night event this year, so that's pretty dope. I like that. They treating SummerSlam like it's WrestleMania. I've always looked at SummerSlam as the second biggest event behind WrestleMania. I know a lot of people like the Royal Rumble. I'm not a Royal Rumble guy. Like, I like all the pay-per-views. Except for Saudi. I'm not a Crown Jewel guy, but the Royal Rumble is not like as high on my pay-per-view list as it is for some other people. For me, it'll probably be it's WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Armageddon used to be lit back in the day. I used to call that the Batista event. There's a lot of great pay-per-views, but I think in the last couple of years, I remember Elimination Chamber used to be my favorite pay-per-view behind Rev. It used to be my favorite over WrestleMania because I couldn't watch WrestleMania growing up. I think I never watched the WrestleMania until I got to like high school and they created the WWE Network. And that's when I started watching all the pay-per-views. And then because my homie had the WWE Network, and then I started making money, so I bought the network myself. And then it switched over to Peacock, which everybody thought was terrible at the time because we had got so used to using the WWE Network. Little did we know all these years later, at least to me, WWE being on Peacock, like all their live pay-per-views, so dope. I hope that don't change in the future, but we know how these things are. I just don't want it to go to Netflix, really. I use my sister's Netflix because I'm not paying for Netflix because I don't use Netflix enough to pay for. Well, I don't use it nowhere near enough to be paying a subscription for it. I think that new John Wick story, The Ballerina, is going to be on Netflix. If it is, I'm going to watch that on Netflix. So I'm going to use my sister's shit to watch The Ballerina. But it could be coming out in the movie theater because Armadale, I don't know how you pronounce her name. Armadale something. She is the lead in this new John Wick. It's not a John Wick movie. John Wick is in it because I just saw another trailer for it today. She say, perhaps I can send somebody to take care of it. Buddy say, Baba Yaga. And then, boom, enter John motherfucking Wick. I'm a big John Wick guy. I'm a fan of all of the movies. I'm a fan of the Continental, the show. I believe I am caught up and I have watched every single thing in the John Wick universe. I hope they make another show like the Continental. I don't think the Ballerina is a show. I'm pretty sure that's a movie. Oh, if it's coming out on Netflix, I mean not Netflix. If it was, I think it's coming out in the movie theaters. If it was coming out on Peacock, that'd be real lit. It's a movie on Peacock right now. It's called Spy Something. It's got Michael Fassbender. I've been contemplating if I'm going to watch it or not. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm just not a spy, espionage, thriller type of fan. Like, those movies don't really do anything for me. As a matter of fact, more times than not, I'm annoyed watching them. Like, so I don't know if I'll watch it, but I like Michael Fassbender, so I might give it a shot. But I'm not 100%. I watched the movie, the show Long Bright River on Peacock. Jesus Christ. That's one of the best things I done watched this year. My goodness. We got a long way. We got a long way to go. That show was lit, yo. Sitting back in the dark. That shit was lit. Anyways, let's get into what we have to get into. WWE Backlash 2025. It was a short pay-per-view. I knew this was going to be a short pay-per-view also when, for one, it started at 7. Now, it starting at 7 ain't really like... That's nothing. The pay-per-views usually started around 7 or 8. When they did a promo, or they... In the middle of the show, they said a UFC event, the Bilal Muhammad, Jack Della Maddalena fight was happening tonight. I said, oh, so this ain't going past like 10. Like, this ain't going past probably 9 something. Because why would they be promoting a UFC event that's happening the same night? That was weird. I did watch that UFC event, though, too. Shout out to Jack Della Maddalena. It's crazy because Bilal Muhammad, I thought Jack Della Maddalena, I thought he was going to win this fight going into it. That's who I picked to win it. I did not think Bilal Muhammad was going to look the way he looked in this fight. And I think that's not a negative comment. I think this is the best fight. Just me watching Bilal, this is the most entertaining fight I've seen from Bilal Muhammad. Now, I know some people will say he done had better fights where he was more dominant and things. Personally, I don't think he relied on his wrestling as much as he has in the past. Like, he could have made this a match where he just wanted to... You want to know what's very interesting? Bilal Muhammad probably could have made this a boring fight where he just wrestled Jack Della Maddalena all fight. He did not do that. Like, he was boxing with Jack. Like, he was getting straight. Like, he fucked Jack up. Jack got him too, but this was a great fight. And Bilal got a strong chin. I thought it was some shots that he got hit with that was going to put him down. He did not get put down. So shout out you want to know, I think the biggest thing for Bilal coming out of it, because I think if they had a rematch, Bilal could possibly win the rematch. Like, I don't think, after watching this fight, I don't think Jack is that much better than Bilal Muhammad, if even by just slightly. Because this was it's so crazy because of all the fights I've watched from Bilal Muhammad, and as good as he done looked in a lot of his fights, this fight right here stood out to me more than any fight he done had, and he ended up losing it. And that's not me being like disrespectful or trying to be funny. It's just so interesting how this sport works, how he put on his best performance, in my opinion. This was like one of his most complete performances where he showed you his takedown game. He showed you his stand-up game. Like, I think Bilal did a lot of good in this fight. Jack just ended up winning it. I can't even remember what the end score was, but I don't think he beat him by that many. I think it was like 28, 29 or something like that. Or maybe that was the Shevchenko fight before. I don't know. I can't remember. Valentina Shevchenko won her match also, though. Shout out to the Bullet. Anyways, we're not here to talk about UFC. But shout out to Bilal and to Jack Della Maddalena, the new champion. But to kick off Backlash, we had the United States Championship match. Now, one of the things I'm going to do throughout all of the reviews when I'm talking about the PLEs, I always do the fit checks. Now, I'm probably not going to do the fit check tonight on this show because I completely forgot about it throughout. I'm getting back into doing my wrestling breakdowns and whatnot and reviews, so I completely forgot that I do a fit check. And I think it was a big reason as to why I didn't do a fit check on this also. Yeah, that's why. Because the majority of the matches was just men. Usually fit checks come in because women be wearing the fuck out of the gear, bro. Like, and it was no Seth Rollins on this pay-per-view, so Seth didn't even come with his drip. And everybody else on here really not a drip type of wrestler so it wasn't really a lot of drip on the show tonight. So respectively, this is a good one to pass on anyways as far as doing the fit checks and who had the best fit of the night. But anyways, the match, one of the things that I usually do other than the fit check on these PLEs, I talk about the match order and did the match order make sense. I really don't want to skip ahead, but I am finna skip ahead real quick just to talk about the match order, because for Backlash, it went USA title match, Women's Intercontinental Championship match, Men's Intercontinental Championship match, Gunther and Pat, Orton and Cena. It was 5 total matches. Now, I really can't complain about the order of this too much. However, what I would say is this. I believe that the Women's Intercontinental Championship match should have been the co-main event. And I understand hindsight is 50-50. But if I were booking this, Becky and Lyra would have been the co-main event for me. Because for one, in my head, I'm thinking that this might not be the most entertaining match for fans who just want to be entertained. This might not be as entertaining as the USA title match, because that's 4 different wrestlers in that match. And it's no rules, so anything can happen. That's made to have max entertainment. So I understand why that's kicking off the show. I absolutely get why that's kicking off the show. If Orton Cena wasn't on this pay-per-view, that would probably be the main event. So I understand where that's at. I agree with the USA title match being first. And I agree with John Cena and Randy Orton being the main event, because that's basically what the pay-per-view is built around. However, as much as I love Gunther, as much as I rock with Pat, Gunther is not a champion. As a matter of fact, the only match of the night that was not a championship match was the Gunther match. I think Gunther Pat should have been the 3rd match of the night or the 2nd match of the night. I think it should have went USA title match, either Gunther Pat or the Men's Intercontinental Championship match. And I so as a matter of fact, what I would have done was USA title, Men's Intercontinental Championship, Gunther Pat, Women's Intercontinental Championship, John Cena, Randy Orton. That's what I would have done, personally. Now, if I didn't care about starting the show with a bang, I probably would have put Dirty Dom and Penta as the first match of the night. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But let's get into the matches. The first match of the night was the USA Championship match between Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest. Now, I said in the SmackDown show that I liked that these guys were basically the ones all in this feud, and I didn't want them to let nobody else in, even though they technically let somebody else in at the end of this match. But the only thing in this match, I don't know if it annoyed me, and not necessarily annoyed. I don't know how I necessarily felt about the Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest part of this match, because this was a good match, especially the part where Drew do his move where he hanging upside down on the turnbuckle. He tossed Fatu off the top, but Fatu basically hit like a swanton onto LA Knight. He dived out of the ring at Damian Priest. Like, Jacob Fatu is fucking amazing. I understand why he is. What I like, and I could not, I'm not a big fan of changing certain people heel and babyface, because the fans is really the reason that Jacob Fatu is not being taken as the heel that he was supposed to be. But I think they're about to change him to a babyface, which makes all the sense in the world. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because as much as they probably wanted him to remain a heel because LA Knight is a babyface, LA Knight will actually probably be a better heel than Jacob Fatu at the moment. Because for one, I don't even think that the problem is I think they put Jacob Fatu in an area where the fans can be more amazed than hate. They are more amazed by him than they hate him, because they haven't put him in enough the routine beatdowns that they was doing on Roman Reigns and whatnot. It was really making Solo look dastardly. Jacob Fatu, people were just infatuated with him. They like, yo, this dude all gas, no brakes, like he said, yada mean. Like, to me, Jacob Fatu haven't really been presented enough as a dastardly heel. Like, you haven't really had him you just have him just beating niggas up. That's all Jacob Fatu does. He's just like, and he don't even need to cheat to win for himself. So that's why I'm saying, like, I think they moving him to a babyface because the crowd cheer him all the time anyways. I don't really like when they make decisions based off the crowd, because the crowd is fickle and they change every other day of the week. But maybe this will work long term, because I do understand the annoyance of having people cheer for Jacob Fatu. when they supposed to be cheering for LA Knight. So it's no real heel in this story. But and I could be wrong, but I think LA Knight is moving into a heel. I don't know, because what happened, I don't know, it's very confusing because Solo is clearly a heel. So the way, I'll get to that when I get to that, but two parts of this match. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre took each other out of this match when Damian Priest hit Drew McIntyre with his finisher through a table, like in the crowd, south of heaven. Now, as much as I don't like when the wrestlers fight through the crowd. I think that's a waste of time. I never really enjoy that. But the one problem, and I don't even know if I would call it a problem. I really don't know how to feel about it, to be completely honest with you, because I said that I like that they put all of these dudes in this title picture. But that moment made it seem as though Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre care more about hurting each other than winning the title. And I'm going to tell you the complexity of this. This is why I don't know how to feel about it completely. I'm leaning towards I like it, but I just don't know. Because the title should be what's most important to them. However, it feels as though the only people who really truly cared about winning that title was LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. Which is interesting because that's where the feud originated from. Now, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest inserting themselves in this feud, you would think that they focus would become, okay, I want to win this title. That's where it get interesting because I can actually say Drew McIntyre seems to be focused on winning this title. Priest doesn't. So now, do you take them out of this USA title feud, or do you? I really don't know if you want to keep this thing going of Damian Priest just gonna keep screwing Drew McIntyre. Like I don't know if that's, how long do you keep that going? Like, do that feud keep going till SummerSlam? You know what I'm saying? Like I would have, or do you keep it going but keep it involved with the USA? Because if you keep it in the USA title picture, you got to make them niggas actually care about winning the USA title. Well, Drew care about it, but Damian Priest clearly don't. He only care about not having Drew win it. And that's cool. But we got that already. Like, CM Punk is not going to let Seth win the title. Seth wouldn't let CM Punk win the title. Like, we've seen this story too many times. I don't want them to keep rehashing the same little story point for every story. So I would actually like to see a different version of this story. But I'm not going to be mad if they just do that. He don't want him to win again. But hey, I just don't know if you want to keep the Damian Priest Drew, because I don't know where it goes, to be honest with you. If the biggest thing in this feud is I don't want him to win, I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Because Drew done won the big match at Mania. Neither one of them won this match, so this didn't really do shit for them in their feud. It didn't really progress it. I guess Drew will be mad. Well, I guess it did, because Drew can say that Buddy cost him again. And I guess they'll have another big-time match to hurt one another. But if Drew doesn't win that match, then it really gets interesting. But to end this match, LA Knight was about to hit the elbow through the announcer table on Fatu. But then in the Solo pulled Jacob Fatu off of the table. And when LA Knight was coming over to confront Solo, a mystery guy clotheslined LA Knight, and then we knew who he was. Well, I didn't know who he was at first, but he basically beat LA Knight's ass and then put him in the ring for Jacob Fatu to hit his thing and then get the victory. Ended up being revealed that it's Jeff Cobb. So I had to do my research before I got on here onto who Jeff Cobb was. So apparently Jeff Cobb and Jacob Fatu had a big rivalry in the former wrestling companies that they was in. And they series right now is Jacob Fatu up 2-1 in the series. And so I'm very intrigued by that. But Jacob Fatu basically looked like he didn't know what was going on, like he didn't want help. So I think they basically turning him into a babyface. This is exactly what they did with Damian Priest once he won that championship. He basically didn't want to be a heel no more with the Judgment Day. So I'm imagining that's what they're going to do with Jacob Fatu. I just imagine that they handle this a lot differently because Jacob Fatu is, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to Damian Priest, but he is further along than what they were probably than where Damian Priest was at the time, or they have a better understanding of what to do with Fatu than they did with Damian Priest at that time, or maybe they'll write it better than they wrote Damian Priest at the time. I don't know, but I just feel like they'll handle this better than they handled the Damian Priest one. So Jacob Fatu does ultimately retain. He said in the press conference afterwards that he didn't know, he didn't really have much to say about it because he didn't know what was going on either. And he got to figure this thing out too, and yada, 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 me. The second match of the night was my favorite match of the night. This is where I'm probably going to spend the most time on. I'm just going to tell you right now. This match will probably get the majority of the show's attention. I'm not going to lie to you. This was by far my favorite match of the night. It's not even close. No other match on the card to me was anywhere near as good as this match. Hold up. Gunther Pat, men's. Yeah, no other match on this card was anywhere near. So, one of the things that I do wish that at some point in time would get out of wrestling is this stupid ass I can wrestle better than you thing. Like, to me, I understand that's for story purposes and shit, but for a fan like me, that's very annoying because I really don't give a damn how technically sound somebody is in the ring compared to somebody else. Like, just because CM Punk can do what he can do in the ring is not going to make me love him any more than I like The Miz. Coincidentally, I'm not a CM Punk fan anyways, and I rock with The Miz, but to me, I think you dumb down wrestling, or you kill the experience for yourself when you only like people who you feel like can wrestle a certain way in the ring. And I done said it multiple times. Like, to me, some of the dudes who people say are great wrestlers are some of the guys that I got annoyed with watching sometimes the most, because they matches always turn into the same match. You get beat up for a long time. You hit your comeback. You do the same little comeback moves to come back. The villain might make a last gasp effort, but ultimately the hero wins. Like, when WWE was booking all of those dudes to fight the same way and win all the matches the same way like that, that kind of got annoying to me. But the fans cared more about liking a wrestler than they actually did critiquing or anything like that. So as long as Daniel Bryan won, people were happy. It didn't matter if the story didn't matter. And what's crazy is, to me, the second time around when Daniel Bryan came back as the Planet Champion, that was a far better story to me than those first, the Yes movement and all that. Because sometimes, I'm not against like big polarizing movements like that, but sometimes I don't think those movements really do anything for wrestlers. Like, for the others. It did great for Daniel Bryan, but I don't know what that did for any other wrestler. Like, to me, sometimes the Daniel Bryan and CM Punk things made me really realize how annoying fans can be at times. Like, all those years of wrestlers going out there busting their ass, and mid-match or throughout the entirety of the match, fans would be chanting something for Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. You can say that that's what they've done to the fans, like they got fans to care like that, but I do not agree with that. Fans love wrestlers all the time, and they don't chant for another wrestler while other wrestlers are in the middle of a match. Like, I just think sometimes, or not sometimes, a lot of times we have allowed fans to become very disrespectful, and allow things that they would never allow to happen to themselves. They do it to other people, and we supposed to tell them that, oh yeah, it's okay because you pay your hard-earned money. And I just think that's crazy. Like, we teach, it's this cycle of telling fans, grown-ass individuals, that because you pay money to come see these athletes perform, that you can be disrespectful and you're so important to the product and things of that. Like, it's literally, we done gassed up fans throughout the history of sports and told them how much they mean, as if they are more important than the actual product or the actual athletes out there performing. It's absolutely crazy. But this match, oh my goodness, Lyra Valkyrie. See, the reason I had started off with that, I'm really annoyed. Oh, not annoyed. I'm over the I can wrestle comment. It's because Lyra told Becky, I know I can already wrestle better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, those comments, listening to those comments throughout, WWE history, when Gunther said, when CM Punk told John Cena, when Daniel Bryan tell Roman Reigns, like when CM Punk tells somebody that, I was blown away when Cody Rhodes told John Cena that, because Cody, you are not some great in-ring wrestler, bro. Like, to me, Cody Rhodes is more of a storyteller in the ring or something. He is definitely not one of, I would never, Cody is not even in my top 10 of in-ring performers. Nowhere near. And this is why I get annoyed with fans. Because of things like this. Lyra, bro, I watch Lyra, Charlotte, Tiffany, Nia, Naomi, Jade, Sasha, Rhea. I'm thinking about all the women who've been in these last couple pay-per-view matches. Liv, Raquel, all of these women. I'm thinking about all of these women. Becky. I'm looking at all of these women put on these amazing matches. Just amazing matches. And if a woman is not in the match that the fans don't like, then it does not get cheered or it don't get proper chants. But I sit around and watch these dudes chant for these other matches, to me, that are nowhere near as good as some of these matches. Like, it makes no sense to me. This Lyra Valkyria match taking on Becky Lynch was amazing. Now, the one thing that I am, and I done said this before, Triple H is really annoying me with this. These finishers where the person who you want to win just eat like 6-7 finishers, it feel like, and keep kicking out. Bro, we got to do something about that. My only downside for this match, because I get John Cena and Randy Orton just hitting multiple finishers. I even get Brock Lesnar matches hitting multiple finishes. Like, that's all it feel like they hitting. Lyra and Becky should not be a match with that many finishers from Becky, especially when it don't result in Becky winning the match. Like, I just don't think you should abuse finishers like that. I understand hitting 1 or 2 and they jumping out of it, but that third one should be the charm. It shouldn't be like what CM Punk been running around doing, the finishers, and what Seth Rollins. Like, I understand your top competitors can jump out of more finishers than not, but you really just, this is getting watered down, that every single competitor is just jumping out of hundreds of finishing moves. Like, it's almost like John Cena did at the end of the night, and it's better to just use a cheap way out than to continuously hit finisher after finisher after finisher. I mean, this is out of control in my opinion at this point in time. So that would be my only downside. But like I said, that would go for damn near every match at this point, not just this Valkyria match. But this match was unfucking believable to me. There was a point in this match where Becky was trying to be dastardly. She brought in a chair, and then when Jessica Carr, the referee, took the chair, Becky tried to, she didn't try. She unloosened one of the corner things, one of the pads in the corner. Later on in the match, and I'm gonna be honest, I thought this would eventually get Becky to win, because it just show you how good they was writing this match. That's why I'm confused by some of the. I feel like they could have turned 1 or 2 of them manhandle slams into different moves that got a close count, rather than having her jump out of so many. Because I see what Triple H is doing with these young women, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. But, yeah, I'm going to just get to that in a minute. But I just think that you hurt not just Becky or her finisher, but you hurt finishers in general. Because we keep seeing so many finishers be jumped out of. And to me, that's crazy. Like, you got to do like super finishers at this point to have somebody stay down. And even then, niggas is jumping out of them. Like, it's just getting out of control. But Jessica Carr got involved in this match at one point in time because she was trying to fix the pad in the corner. So she couldn't jump on the pin as fast as she wanted to, but she tried. That was a great spot in this match. And then it was another... But like I said, as many manhandle slams happened in this match, and most of the manhandle slams, like, cause while I was annoyed with her jumping out of all of them, they were timed. Like, it was beautiful spots in which they happened. But now I want to get to the ending of the match, because I don't break down the entire match, because if you want to go watch the match, I don't want to ruin the entire match for you. I do tell you the result, though. And I might talk about different big spots in the match. It was a part in this match. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but Lyra Valkyria, I think she broke her nose. Because when she went for that roll-up pin at the end of the match where she rolled up Becky, she was holding her nose in a lot of pain. And as soon as she hit Becky with the roll-up, Becky immediately started attacking her after the match. And then she wouldn't let loose of the disarmer. I'm wondering if that was quick thinking by Becky to realize that Lyra might miss some time with her broken nose, so she might relinquish her title, or she just might miss a couple weeks or so with a broken nose. So in order to put her on the shelf without stripping her, you use Becky like that to attack her. And to hold off, you know, another thing with Lyra, you bring in Bayley possibly to start her feud with Becky. But I don't know. Either way, I like how that all ended. Now, I want to get to the important part of this match. The part of this match that I had a lot of thoughts about. And it was the end of the match. The result of the match. Lyra Valkyria winning. Because at this point in time, this is my question. And I saw Big E talk about this recently before I started recording. I saw Big E talk about this. About how men look at women wrestlers one way and the dude wrestlers another way. And I've been talking about that for a minute. But one of the things that I noticed when I'm watching these last couple matches, like say with the veteran... The women that we look at as the veterans in the business. And I'm looking at all of the losses that they have taken to the younger women who coming up from NXT and who just came up on the main roster. And really the only one that's winning a lot still is Liv Morgan. And I think it is so distant. I don't even know if that's a word. I just don't think the way that Triple H is booking them right now, I don't know why we are speed running these young women beating all of the greats. Like, I don't understand that. For the life of me. Because Triple H would have never allowed this shit if he was coming up. He's not allowing all the young wrestlers coming up to beat him for all these titles. That's just never how he was booked. But for some reason, he is booking all of these young... Like, I watched Triple H my entire career. He, Orton, and Cena were not losing to all the new people coming up, even if they were big names. The only nigga I can even remember John Cena ever losing to, and I'm talking about out of all three of them, the only one that I can remember losing to somebody who was like coming up out of NXT or something like that was John Cena when he lost to Kevin Owens. That's the only one. And that was Kevin Owens being presented as like a prize fighter and a big time thing, which you fast forwarded all these years later, you don't regret that because of who Kevin Owens was. But outside of that, I cannot remember the last time I've seen so many high level competitors lose to all these newcomers. And it's not the problem of them losing, because I done said before, winning and losing in the WWE shouldn't matter. If the dance is beautiful, that's all it should matter. It should help both wrestlers. However, I've complained, you can call it complaining, critiquing, whatever you want to call it, about Triple H's booking and storytelling for a minute now. And this is one of my problems. It's not hard to see when Triple H likes certain people, or we know the people he liked because he worked with them in NXT when he was over NXT and all these type of things. Or we know the type of people that are Triple H's guys or Triple H's girls. My problem with Triple H right now is, aside from him never would have been booked himself this way back in the day, or never being booked this way back in the day when he was on his thing, what does this do for storytelling when you just have the people who are the best at helping push stories along? They keep losing. Becky keep losing, or Becky Becky take a loss. Charlotte take a loss. The only time Alexa Bliss win is when she teamed up with one of the young people now. Bayley is always losing. Like, all Nia keep losing to the younger people. Like, I get the Jades, the Tiffany's, the Roxanne don't even get the wins that these other ones get. Like, I get that the new generation of women, the Lyra Valkyries, I get that they are going to be the next generation of greats. But I don't understand just washing out Charlotte and all these other ones and basically saying, oh, they done won enough in the past, so we can just have them lose all the time now. I don't know what that does for storytelling. And I don't care that fans say to themselves, oh, well, Charlotte and Becky didn't win too much. Bro, that's what I'm saying. People care more about things like that than they care about storytelling. As long as storytelling makes sense, that's all that should matter. As great as Julia was on the mic against Becky, as great a champion as I think she is, how can you say Charlotte and Becky and all them, these greats whose future legends can lose, but the young ones can't? Because that's what I'm starting to see on Twitter and on these social medias where people complain if Charlotte or Becky or one of the older women wins, which I don't know how we view them as older women, because the thing that annoyed me the most is white males who cheer for John Cena or Randy Orton or Cody Rhodes. These ain't young dudes. These are older dudes winning. And I don't see you complaining when they win. But for some reason, if Charlotte, Bianca, Becky, or somebody take a win, it's immediately, oh, they should be losing for the younger generation. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that. And it's always coming from the male fans of the WWE, and particularly the white male fan base. Now, I know a lot of males do, but it's usually the loudest part of it is the white male fan base. That is very annoying to me. Now, I love the women's division in WWE. I think it's by far the strongest division in any. I don't think there is a women's division in wrestling anywhere outside of the WWE that is anywhere near as good as what the WWE has right now. But the women who are well known, who could give some of the, because one of the things that is annoying is that with Lyra, it don't feel like these stories are stories because they are specifically stories built around Lyra. It just feel like throw a good person, throw somebody in there who can give Lyra a great match. We'll figure something out for a quick little second and boom. That's why they keep bringing Stephanie, the NXT Women's Champion up, Stephanie up here. Like, no, like, bro, can we please? Like, shit is so annoying. Like, you got Becky and all. And the other thing that's annoying to me is not only do Charlotte and them lose these big matches, they don't even win matches against these women leading up to it. They listen. The storytelling that Triple H has done for the women is very annoying. Because, and I also don't want to hear, oh, well, he looking out for the young talent. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, run Raw. They just put Braun Breaker in it. What are you talking about? The young talent seems to not matter when it comes to the men's side. But when it comes to the women's side, Charlotte, Becky, and all these other women need to take steps back so that the younger women can take steps forward. And it's not even, it ain't even just that's how dudes will talk about the women division. They don't even care about these women, to be honest with you. Like I said it the other day, because it was a dude on Twitter who was complaining about something in WWE, and I said, bro, shut up. Like, you don't care about these wrestlers. You never care about these wrestlers until they're released, and you don't even care that they get released. You just want something to complain and hate WWE about. And then not to mention, time and time again, it's like Ronda Rousey said. People can hate Ronda Rousey as much as they want to, but when she said wrestlers are as important as the fans make them, that was true, or however she worded it. Because niggas was complaining about something going on, not with Bray Wyatt not being booked properly or something like that, but just months before when he was there, fans was talking about how they didn't like his gimmick, how his gimmick had ran old and things like that. So the fans, well, I've been told you they some hypocrites and fickle, but just listening how the fans treat these women wrestlers compared to how they thoughts and opinions and how they patience and how they feel about the men, it's just very annoying. Very annoying. And this was an unbelievable match. Becky and Lyra just had a phenomenal match. Like I said, the only problem I had was how many manhandle slams that Lyra jumped out of, and the fact that Triple H is basically building his women's wrestling. Now, I will say this. Lyra looked way better in this match against Becky than Tiffany looked against Charlotte at Mania. Because I done watched that match back about 5 times now. And it get worse and worse for Tiffany damn near every time I watch it. Because every time I watch it, I start to realize earlier and earlier spots where she looked like she fatigued or not moving as great or not hitting as crisp moves. Whereas Lyra looked great throughout this entire match until her nose. Now, granted, some people might say, well, you know, Becky is not Charlotte in the ring. Well, I'm pretty sure Lyra could go in the ring and last with Charlotte, bro. Like, she could put on a great match with Charlotte, I feel like. Or Bianca. Or see, that's what I'm starting to feel. Because Lyra was so great on the mic against Becky. Now, I don't think that she was better on the mic than Becky. I think Becky was absolutely phenomenal. I think Becky might be the best mic worker as far as the women in the WWE right now. I'm trying to think. Let me think. It was a time where Charlotte was, to me, the best on the mic. I think she done taken a step back though, because the crowd is always. See, the thing with Charlotte is sometimes she don't get a reaction from the crowd because the crowd hates her for no reason. And the way they have her, the stuff that they have her go out there and talk about, the crowd don't give a damn, so they won't give her a reaction. And then when she do get a reaction, it's hard for her to get through what she's trying to say at times because Charlotte done been out for so long. So you got to get back used to talking to the crowd and understanding how they're going to react to why you're talking. And you know what I'm saying? Like when she was going out there pouring her heart out like a couple months ago and the crowd was booing her. So I think the only reason that it was times where you never saw Charlotte slip up on the mic or be not sure how to handle a situation. But I blame that on fucking Triple H. Like I said, why would you make somebody who was this great as a heel a babyface? It made no sense. Knowing that the crowd hates her for whatever weird ass reasons, why would you make her a babyface? Nonetheless, I'm very interested to see. I'm gonna watch Monday Night Raw, obviously, because I want to see what happens with. I want to see what happened with Lyra. I wonder if she really did break her nose. Like, is she vacating her title? Like, what's going on? And is this a feud with her and Bayley? Like, is this? I mean, not Bayley. Is this feud between? I dead ass thought Becky was gonna come out after the match, but after she didn't, that's what made me think. I mean, I thought Bayley was gonna come out after the match, but when she didn't, I thought that's why I thought Becky's attack meant that she might have known Lyra got like legitimately hurt, so she was doing this after the match to try to sell it for a story like, oh, she broke her arm after the match. So, you remember when Brock Lesnar used to go around breaking niggas' arms with the Kimura? That's how they would sell people off of TV for a couple weeks. I thought that's what they was going to do for Lyra if she was really hurt. But I ain't going to lie. The WWE doing this shit where they release that people done got hurt is kind of annoying. Because back in the day, niggas would really be hurt and you wouldn't even know it because niggas would find ways to write them out of stories. Now, it was them rare situations where it was like John Cena had that golf ball ass thing on his elbow, so you could clearly see that nigga was about to be gone for a while because he had to get that shit fixed. I remember when I saw that, I cheered that night. I was like, Lord have mercy, we about to have a year without John motherfucking Cena. I was so happy. I was elated. You couldn't even imagine. And then I remember when everybody knew Triple H hurt his shit in that match and he came back and, you know, and I've seen that documentary so many times where he talked about it. I didn't know if the fans were going to love me or not. I'm like, shut up, man. Anyways, it was a great match and Lyra ended up retaining her title with a roll up. Now, it was kind of reminiscent of when she faced when she faced Becky before and she beat Becky with a roll up. So now Becky is 0-1 against Lyra. Once again, I don't mind Lyra, Tiffany, and these women winning matches against Becky and them, but what does it mean that all of the young women just immediately win all of their feuds against Charlotte, Becky, and these women? And you know what I'm saying? Like that, to me, that's annoying. Like all of your legends are not there just for them to be beat all the time. Like, so you could say, oh, well, Tiffany done beat Charlotte already. Like when Tiffany was walking around saying, for one, Tiffany still talks like a heel. But we're supposed to take it as she is a face. But the fact that Tiffany's character is already just walking around, I beat Charlotte, one of the greatest of all time. How annoying is that, knowing that that's all the Triple H is doing for these characters? Giving these characters the leeway to just be like, oh, I beat Becky, one of the greatest of all time. Because I guarantee you Lyra will more than likely allude to that or say that on Raw. She'll be like, I beat one of the greatest women of all time. Just like Lyra. I mean, just like Tiffany keep doing on a week-to-week basis. I beat one of the greatest in Charlotte. Like, that cannot be the only thing that we are using Charlotte and Becky for. Like, to me, Triple H would have never let creative sit back and say, you know what, Triple H, the greatest we've seen from you has already passed. So now the only thing we're going to use you for is to give great matches and great feuds to everybody else, but we don't plan on having you win any of them because you already done touched all the greatness that you needed to touch. Like, to me, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I'm not a fan of that. Because I don't know what that, And then if you have them losing every single feud, who is the final bosses of women? Like who is the woman that they are reaching for? If Charlotte's legacy doesn't matter because everybody can just beat Charlotte now. Everybody can just beat Becky now. Everybody can just beat Bayley now. Like, I hate the way Triple H has been booking Bayley. Like, one of the reasons Jonathan Coachman can say the ignorant shit he said is because of the way Triple H has booked Bayley. Bayley lose damn near every single match she has against the young talent. Triple H does not book Charlotte, Becky, Bayley, none of them like they are legends or top dogs who can still, like, they are just there, it seems, to lose to his young up and coming stars who he feels as though, like, and I feel like it's a happy medium where they both can coexist, but this is absolutely ridiculous. And maybe I'm not seeing the forest from the trees or whatever people want to call it, but right now it just feels like Triple H is booking these women to beat all of the old goats, to say, it's basically what he did for Rhea. He's speed running everybody because Rhea, boy, Triple H made sure Rhea beat all them 4 horsewomen. Any horsewoman that hadn't been beat when Triple H took over, he made sure Rhea went ahead and got them. And another thing, putting the tag team titles on Liv Morgan. For one, taking the tag team titles off of Liv Morgan and Raquel at Mania, putting them right back on Liv and Raquel after Mania, knowing Liv was leaving to do a tour, is insane to me. If Liv had the main title, I get letting her leave for a couple months, even though I don't agree with that either. But if you can miss a pay-per-view or two of Liv Morgan defending her main title to go tour the world because she is the champion. Taking the tag team titles away, a title that should be a every pay-per-view fighting type of title, is ridiculous to me. You could have easily put them hoes back on Liv and Raquel when Liv got back. To take those motherfuckers and put them on Liv before she leaves to do the movie is one of the reasons I keep going at Triple H, bro. Not even gonna lie to you. But the next match of the night was the men's Intercontinental Championship between Dirty Dom and Penta. And obviously, you know, a lot went on throughout this match. A lot of shenanigans. The funniest part of this is after the match, Dom talking to Big E in the post show. But a lot happened in this match. Penta, I knew Penta wasn't winning this match, but Penta, I almost thought he was going to win this match because of some of the shenanigans that happened that didn't go through. What was funny to me is Finn Balor wearing his Daddy Dom shirt. Carlito was holding, Carlito was distracting the ref. JD was holding Penta. Finn could have hit him, but Finn was like, no, you know what? Hold on, wait a minute. Let's make it worse. And he went and got a chair, and the referee turned around and saw it. This nigga Wade Barrett hit one of the funniest fucking lines that I have ever heard out of nowhere as far as in wrestling. Where this nigga said, finally the ref is paying. He said, no. What did he say? He said the ref was razor sharp finally. For once. He was like, the ref is razor sharp for once. That shit had me crying because how much people complain about the refs. And then in a literally seconds later, Finn Balor, we thought that Penta was going to win because, oh, damn, they done fucked up the distraction. Finn Balor distracts the ref again. And then El Grande Americano ended up knocking. He hit Penta with his face mask. You know, he got the steel plate in his mask. And immediately I thought to myself, guess that man ain't that razor sharp anymore, is he now, Wade? Dirty Dom hits the frog splash, and 1, 2, 3. Dirty Dom also hit a Oblivion in this match. Now, it didn't look as good as Liv Morgan when she hit that hoe, because Liv Morgan be hitting that hoe. But it was nice. It was nice. I like that. I like that touch. You know, Dominic Mysterio's wife must be a very strong, confident woman. Because I don't know how happy I would be if my significant other was on TV for probably the last 2 years, basically being ultra freaky with 2 different women who a lot of people find ultra attractive. Now, I'm not attracted to either Liv or Rhea. So let's say I was Dom. My wife wouldn't have a problem in this situation. But there's a lot of men out there who are ultra attracted to Liv and Rhea. I don't have a problem with men being attracted to them. My problem is when men say they're a fan of either of them two, but it's only because of how they look. They don't give a flying fuck what either of the two do in the ring. They just like them because how they look. And if you don't believe that is a thing, you're sadly mistaken. Hey, yo, y'all remember that commercial? How it feels to chew 5 gum. Yo, 5 gum used to be like, when a dude pulled out 5 gum in school, that was the exclusive. That was like, when they pulled out that black box, bro, 5 gum used to be like, I'm trying to think of, 5 gum was silly bands before silly bands. 5 gum was the rosary before the rosary. Like 5 gum was it. I'm telling you, niggas was pulling out Juicy Fruit and Red Hot, stuff like that. Double Mint. Niggas didn't care about that. Niggas, and Wrigley make all 3 of those gums. When Wrigley made Stride, I think it was called Stride gum. I would choose to feel 5 gum. Or was it 5? No, it was 5. Because I remember the big ass 5 on the box. Was it called Stride 5? Or just 5 gum? Either way, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's... How did I confuse myself? Bro, we moving on. Dom ended up retaining his championship thanks to El Grande Americano. Bro, it's this Hispanic song, Mexican song, that I've been listening to on TikTok. This is the first time in my life that I ever regretted not knowing Spanish. All of the Hispanic women, Mexican women who I have dated that tried to teach me Spanish, all of my Hispanic co-workers and Mexican co-workers that I have worked with, specifically the ones that I worked with at Chipotle and Wendy's that desperately tried to teach me Spanish. You were right. And I was wrong because I said I would never need it. And my love for this song that I have heard, and the fact that I cannot sing this song because it is in complete Spanish. I do not even understand what he's saying. And I want to understand. I want to know what he is saying so bad. But I don't. And it hurts. And I'm now reminded of all those times that I had to learn Spanish. And I chose not to. In school, I goofed off. So let this be a lesson. If you are a child out there listening to this. Or, if you're an adult like me. Life have a funny way of telling you, you'll regret this shit later, homie. And boy, did I regret that shit later, homie. Anyways, Gunther Pat Mcafee was the co-main event of the night. Now, this was not the most beautiful match of the night. This was probably, the ugliest match of the night if you want to keep it a band. Granted, one of the dudes in this match was not a wrestler. He's a commentator. This match still found a way to be very entertaining because Michael Cole found himself involved in this match. Yes, you heard me right. Michael Cole. Michael Cole found himself involved in this match. This was a great match. Well, not as far as how it looked like. Gunther, it was a lot of chest slapping, a lot of mocking Pat. Pat's little comeback moves that he did was the cleanest move Pat did was that bicycle kick, and I did not expect for him to hit a bicycle kick that clean. Now his super kick could have used a little bit more, but you got to remember Pat is not in the ring every single week competing. He is sitting at the desk. Michael Cole entering this to help him. Like this whole story thing, this to me did wonders for Gunther. This type of story for Gunther, it bring Gunther down to life. And it like losing to Sammy, losing to Jay, now having this moment. I was praying to God he didn't lose to Pat, but these just humanize Gunther. They make Gunther real. To me, Gunther is like one of the top stars in WWE without a question. But at times it feel like one of the things that I didn't like was how they built Rusev for so long. He never lost. So when he finally lost, because we didn't know how to take Rusev losing, they didn't know how to book him after he lost either. So he became a laughing stock eventually. We couldn't take him serious no more. Building Gunther the way they done built Gunther where we can see him lose, we can humanize him. We don't have to only have this expectation of, bro, he'll never lose. I think that does more for a wrestler than having him have these ridiculous undefeated streaks. Like, I actually wish that undefeated streaks didn't exist unless they come upon accidentally. Like Bianca being undefeated in singles competition at WrestleMania up until last year or whatever the thing was. That was cool. Now, I do wish Bianca had lost that streak to a singles competition, like a one-on-one competition. Because if you have something like that at your disposal, why not give that to somebody else? Like, people complain about Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker because they say somebody else could have used that. I don't really know how it didn't work great for Brock, because I don't think people remember when Brock actually first came back. And how he actually did not look like he did look like a monster, but John Cena beat him in that match where they came back. It was not until he came back a second time and just absolutely destroyed John Cena where people was like, okay, this is the Brock Lesnar. And then he damn near killed Triple H, even though Triple H did beat him. But see, Brock Lesnar, if you watched wrestling growing up, you know Brock Lesnar could take a loss too, but I don't even think Brock was built the way we done built Gunther. Like, we don't even put Roman Reigns and the Seth Rollins near Gunther. That keeps you looking great for a long time also, because you wouldn't take the downs that you would take if you were around those type of superstars. But Gunther learning to take these downs to superstars that's not on a Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins level, I think that just does wonders for him. And Gunther is constantly getting better at the little things, working with other people. And not just having to work with all the greats and the top guys because he working with other people. I think that just make Gunther. And Gunther is at that point now, too, where he's so great he can make other people great. Like, Jey Uso's win was not just because we love Jey, and it wasn't big just because we think Jey is big and yada, yada, yada. It's because Gunther is a big superstar also. So I like this match. I think everything that you needed this match to do, it did. And Gunther gave Pat and Michael Cole like a salute after the match, like a show of respect. But I ain't gonna lie, Cole was talking crazy about Gunther. I'm not the one who lost. I'm not the one who tapped out. That was crazy. And the main event of the night, one last time, the final time. Throughout the whole show, we were seeing John Cena stuff throughout the entirety of the show. We just saw John Cena stuff all night between him and Randy Orton. We just kept seeing history between, my bad, I'm looking at something. We just kept seeing the history between John Cena and Randy Orton all night. And the match, it was a good match. It was a lot of finishers. The match really broke down, so it really got dastardly once how do I explain it? Because one ref got taken out twice, basically. Then another ref came in, he got taken out. Then it might have been 3 total refs, if I'm not mistaken, but another ref got taken out. Randy Orton hit an RKO. Nobody could make the pin. Nick Aldis and a lot of guys come to the ring. Randy ended up RKing every single one of them niggas. As he about to punt John Cena, R-Truth came in and make the save. He ends up RKOing R-Truth, but then that gives John Cena the opportunity to hit him in the nuts and then finally hit him with the title. And then that's what ended up getting the victory, because like clockwork, the knocked out ref, who's been taking a nap for the last 30 minutes, is going to wake up when that dastardly heel is ready to get that pin. Now, this was in St. Louis. They gave Randy Orton a big ovation. They was cheering for both Randy and John Cena throughout the night. And then it didn't really stop, because after this in the press conference, John Cena was acting like he was going to answer questions from the reporters. And R-Truth came in and said something to John Cena. He was like, I still loved you even when they said you couldn't wrestle. John Cena told him it was too far, and if he said something else, he was going to do something to him. R-Truth was about to say something else, and John Cena hit a FU through the table, an attitude adjustment through the table. So that's basically how the show. Oh, and John Cena, after he beat Randy Orton, he got up on the rope and said, take a look. This is the last real champion. And it's the last time they was going to see that man in St. Louis. So it was a great way to end the night. Not too much to say about that. It was really just a straightforward John Cena Randy Orton match, with John Cena doing a lot of dastardly stuff throughout. I thought it was a good match to close out the night. I thought it was dope how they showed Randy that type of respect, even though obviously they still was cheering for John Cena also. The R-Truth thing was funny, because I remember when I tweeted, R-Truth should help John Cena win the match at WrestleMania. I might even take a picture of it and put it on here so y'all can see I'm not lying. But I tweeted weeks ago, I was like, R-Truth should help John Cena win the match at Backlash, and then John Cena should take out R-Truth. Because that'll really be some dastardly type shit. Now, white males who don't give a damn about how wrestling is supposed, like storytelling and whatnot, it's nothing that John Cena can do that will make them boo him. I'm pretty sure the WWE would love to be getting John Cena booed out of arenas right now, but because the white male fans have decided we're not going to boo him, we're going to cheer him and basically tell him that, yeah, you're right, we're wrong, instead of just playing into the story the way they want you to play into the story. You have what you have now. So I'm very interested to see how it all play out tomorrow night. I'm interested. He said at the end of the night too that he didn't need the fans, he needed competition. So I'm interested to see who is the next competitor that steps up to John Cena. Who would be the next logical opponent? If they plan on taking the title off of Cena with Cody will be the last person he faced. What I don't think they about to take the title off of Cena no time soon. I imagine he gonna wear this bad boy all the way up to WrestleMania next year. So my question is, or to at least SummerSlam. So if he get it taken off of SummerSlam, they need to go ahead and start the feud right now that prepares for SummerSlam, unless Randy Orton is really gonna face him again. They kept saying this was the last time Orton and Cena would face off, so they could have been lying. Who knows? Either way, that was Backlash. If I had to give it a rating on a 1 to 5 scale, I'd give it a 4. It was a great show. That being said, I appreciate you for joining me on another episode of Wrestling with Saint. My back hurt. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in this world, so choose to be kind to somebody today. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, and tell a friend. I appreciate the support. I fuck with you. I love you. Till next time, Saint out.
That's exactly how I feel. I feel like I just got spat on. I feel like they just pulled out the whole goddamn cup on me. Man, I'm stressed out. B&B, every day we live. Hey, every day Uso is stressing the
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.